Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the 38th meeting of the Mayor and City Council to order on Monday, September 27th, 2021 at 6 p.m. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Mr. DeWalt,
Here.
Mr. Laz, Mr. Laz,
Here.
Mr. Sidnor,
Here.
President Nicholas,
Here.
Mayor Mel.
Here.
Approval of the minutes will be deferred until the next Mayor and City Council meeting, which will be Wednesday, October 13th, 2021. Our next agenda item is report of the Mayor and City Council. And tonight we'll start with Councilman DeWalt.
There we go. I got it.
Okay. You have
Thank
the
you,
floor.
Madam President. Welcome, everybody. Couple things. Over by the Laurel Shopping Center, where the theaters used to be, the Laurel House of Horrors opened up. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because the Laurel House of Horrors was devastated by the pandemic. And this is the first opening they've had in a long time. And it's a small business, and it's owned by my neighbors just down the street, which makes it extra special. They opened up this weekend. They'll be the next weekend, 10/1 and October 1st and 2nd, they'll be open. And then they expand a little bit to October 8th, 9th, and 10th, and then October 21, 22, 23, and 24. So please go out and support them. It's a local business, and it's owned by one of our neighbors, one of our own. The day after the last meeting, I went over to Howard County. We had a service of the path. The path from actually goes from, now you can walk from Main Street. You could walk northbound on Route 1. You could cross the bridge now, which I feel comfortable, and everybody seems to agree that the way they put it there, that it will protect people from walking. And then when you get up to Paddock Point, you can go in, and there's going to be more trails throughout there, along with a boat ramp for kayaks. And then it leads right to the racetrack. So it opened up Laurel to North Laurel. It was beautifully done. And I think because of the traffic and the way they fly up there, and it was evident on how fast they go up there, I think it's going to prevent anybody from getting seriously hurt or fatal up in that area. And it was a really good job by Howard County. On Thursday, I went to Tampico. It was another fundraiser for the Laurel Women's Club. I got there a little early, before 4 o'clock, but I was the first one to get my receipt put in the bucket there. So they get a certain percentage of that. They do great work. I then traveled up to Pennsylvania to support my nephew, who's a McKeesport, Pennsylvania police officer. And I participated in a golf tournament, and they raised money in the golf tournament because the city can't afford a canine unit. So this golf tournament, several other fundraisers support their canine unit. Let's see. On on Wednesday the 15th, along with Cheryl Dwyer and Mike Dwyer. I helped, me and a few other people with trucks, help deliver part of the 150 trees that are to be planted for the 150th anniversary of the City of Laurel. lot of beautiful trees. I didn't realize some of them were going to be 10 or 12 feet, but a lot of trees we did that day. And then on the 24th, again, we delivered a lot of trees. So it's a great thing. It's pretty cool because the next day we met at Riverview Park, and our own James Poole taught us all how to plant a tree. And it's actually pretty cool. When you know how to plant it, it's pretty easy, except digging the hole is pretty hard at times. But James knows what he's talking about. I'll tell you, he's very knowledgeable about planting trees in the environment, and he did a great job down there, along with Brian Coyle and Cheryl Dwyer and the rest of the Laurel for the Patuxent. We planted many trees. Also, I just donated and picked up my beautiful McSinney March bag that was given out while the McSinney March was going on. I would have loved to have been there, but we had several other trees to get planted to finish up the 150 trees. And it was a great, great event on Saturday with several things happening at that time. That's all I have, Madam President. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilman Les.
Thank you, Madam President. First of all, I want to congratulate the city staff on their vehicular safety initiatives and receipt of $30,000 that we received that was used for a driving simulator. That's impressive. The McSinney walk, as was mentioned, was a good group of people, and more importantly, a tribute to Jim and his contributions to the community in the walks that he took around Laurel. It was impressive to see the number of businesses and individuals that donated to the walk. Final thing I want to mention, my wife and I, Mary Eileen, had the privilege to go down to Huntington to attend Bill Goddard's memorial service. It was impressive. It was impressive to see all the fire engines pulled up and the big flag. And I think Bill would have been impressed by the number of people that were there, including Congressman Hoyer, and actually would have been impressed by the number of people that's had some fine things to say about Billy. He will be missed. That concludes my report, Madam President.
Thank you. Councilman Signor.
Thank you, Madam President. September the 25th, we had the council walk again. As you already know, aware that September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and I'm wearing the final shirt that the Dasper family gave me this weekend. Mia Gonzalez came out. I was so impressed with Mia. She walked the whole 2 miles. She was leading the pack. It was kind of like, wow, she was strong. So you should have seen her out there. It was great. Her family came along with her. We had about maybe 8 walkers out there, but folks are really engaged. And so it's a wonderful thing that the City of Laurel done, recognize September Child Cancer Awareness Month, acknowledge those 2 young folks who's fighting cancer and living their life every day. So it was a sight to see. That concludes my report, Madam President. Thank you.
Mayor Mo.
Thank you, Madam President. A couple things. I have the opportunity to attend the State of Maryland Radio Control Board that I'm a member of, as well as the Prince George County Municipal Association meeting that took place, again, still virtual. We did have food distribution by St. Mary of the Mills on the 16th. I want to again thank them and appreciate what they continue to do. As you heard on the 17th, I want to thank all the actually residents that showed, as well as staff, and as you heard, Councilman Les that attended the memorial service in remembrance for our former city administrator, William F. Goddard III. I talked to his wife, and she appreciated all those that were able to make it down and pay their respects. So as we heard, Bill will be be missed. And again, I do thank for those who showed up for the service. We did also running late. Was able to stop by the celebration of life for Doug Hayes, who's a former member of the Historical District Commission. Had a lot of big turnout for Doug, and I'm glad we were able to remember Doug as well. The Paddock Point ribbon cutting, which was the sidewalk connection from on northbound lane from Paddock Point is to the City of Laurel. Did thank them for the opportunity on behalf of the Mayor and City Council. I do think it'll make things safer. As I mentioned to the exec and to others before I left, there is some issues that we still need to talk about. That is going to be a lot of traffic that'll be coming down Route 1 as well as, I believe, Main Street. So there are some issues that we need to continue to communicate with Howard County and with the developer there. The statewide interoperability plan, I had the opportunity to attend a webinar for that as well, which we have to deal with here in the city. My apologies to Councilman Sidnor as well as to Cheryl Dwyer in the Laurel for Patuxent. I was running late to both of those. And had an 8 o'clock meeting that morning and it ran over. By the time I got to the planting, I think it was about 10 of, and they were already gone. So from there, I didn't want to be late. I went to the McSeany March and well, good turnout, was able to do my miles. And again, as I said that morning, it was an opportunity to reflect on Mr. McSeany and all that he had done for the Historical Society in the City of Laurel. A couple of announcements. Presentations. I have a proclamation, which I'm not going to read, Madam President. I'll just, we'll put these out through our social media, but there's Proclamation 2121, which is National Disability Employment Awareness Month. Proclamation 2021-23, National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Proclamation 2021-24, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Proclamation 21-25, which is the National Arts and Humanities Month. All of these are in October. The Proclamation 2021-26, Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. Proclamation 2021-28, Community Media Day. And then Proclamation 2021-29, which is National Preparedness Month. That was for September. We did put that out, and I forgot to acknowledge that, put it in the record. And last is Proclamation 2021-30, Minority Enterprise Development Week, which is September, was in September 19th through the 5th. Excuse me, that was another we forgot to read into the record as well. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Our next agenda item is general public hearing. Ms. Rao, is there anyone signed up to speak?
Madam President, there's nobody signed up to speak.
Thank you. I'm going to open the public hearing at 6:14 p.m. and I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:14 p.m.
Madam President, could I make one further announcement?
Yes, sir.
Indigenous Peoples Day, October the 11th, which city offices will be closed. So that's October the 11th, and trash and recycling and others will be affected. So please read the press releases. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next agenda item is second public hearing with possible action on ordinance number 1982, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of Laurel, Maryland, to amend the City of Laurel employees' retirement plan to change the vesting period, to change the employee contribution rate for employees hired on or after October the 1st, 2021. I've read the title into the record for the second reading. Ms. Saylor, do you have anything to add?
No, Madam President, I don't have anything additional. We were able to supply answers to Mr. Sidnor's questions that he raised at the work session, as well as the day after. I believe I supplied those last week on the 21st of September. And again, this is just for the employees plan to increase the employee contribution rate to 5% of payroll and to increase the vesting period from 5 years to 10 years, which will eventually affect the city's contribution to the plan, with these folks putting more in for a longer period of time before they can actually retire. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Ms. Rao, is there anyone signed up to speak?
Madam President, there's nobody signed up to speak on this ordinance.
Mr. Signor, did you have a question?
Oh, not right now. I was just gonna wait for to make a motion.
Oh, okay. There's no one signed up to speak. I'm gonna open the public hearing at 6:15 p.m. and I'm gonna close the public hearing at 6:15 p.m. May I entertain a motion?
Madam President, make a motion to pass ordinance number 1982. Before I vote, I'll say something before I vote as well.
Can I get a second, please?
Madam President, I'll second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Sidnor,
Yeah, first I want to thank Director Seal and her staff for giving that information. I did some research on my own as well, and it's kind of consistent with some municipalities throughout the state. And so I think it's only fair, even though I still have some hesitance about the police budget as well. Not budget, but I think everything should be the same. But notice that's different. The police plan is different throughout the state as well. So I vote yes.
Mr. Les,
Yes.
Mr. DeWalt,
Yes.
President Nicholas,
Yes.
Mayor Mo.
I'll concur.
Our next agenda item is second public hearing with possible action on ordinance number 1983, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of Laurel, Maryland, to amend Laurel City Code, Chapter 7, garbage, trash, weeds, recycling, etc., and providing an effective date. I've read the title into the record for the second reading. Mr. Lee, do you have anything to add?
Madam President, no, I do not have anything additional at this time.
Ms. Rao, is there anyone signed up to speak?
Madam President, there's nobody signed up to speak on this ordinance.
I'm going to open the public hearing at 6:17 p.m. and I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:17 p.m. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam
Madam
President,
President, make a motion to pass ordinance number 1983.
Can I get a second? Can I get a second?
Madam President, I'll second that motion.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Thank you, Mr. Les. Mr. Sidnor,
Yes.
Mr. Les,
Yes.
Mr. DeWalt,
Madam President, before I cast my vote, could I make a comment, please?
Yes.
At the last meeting, section 7-7 violation penalties and enforcement. It says the Department of Fire Marshal and Permit Services or the Department of Public Works designee shall be responsible for the issuance of citations and compliance order. At that time, I addressed the director about what type of training, knowledge, and experience the person down at Public Works was going to have so that he could write a legal document and present it in court. And I have not heard back from Mr. Lee so far. And then I put in for I wanted a traffic study that Public Works maintains. It's small, two tubes that run across the street, and it measures the speeding for 1 week, 24 hours a day. And once you get that, it puts it into a really nice graph, a colored graph. and it shows the speeding each hour of the day, if there is any. And we have a problem in 11 and 1200 block of Montgomery Street. We've had it for a long time. And I was hoping that we would get that out there and get it back before school started, because as you know, there's a lot of traffic enhanced that comes from West Laurel and the kids at Pilates and everything, and the parents taking their kids to school and things like that. So it's a lot more traffic, and it's a fabulous tool in giving my constituents, anytime you have a speeding problem and you put it down there, there's some that you show them and you could show their perception just isn't right as far as the speeding go. Or you might have 1 or 2 violations within a week. But it's very useful to us. And again, I haven't heard back from Public Works. And so I'm going to pass my vote on this ordinance until I get some sort of cooperation with Public Works when I request some information. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you.
Mr. DeWald, are you abstaining from the vote? Let's see.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Councilmember Smith is with us now, Madam President. Councilmember Smith, we are voting on ordinance number 1983, the one amending the code to address the special pickup. And would you like to vote on this?
Yes.
So you're in favor of passing this ordinance?
Yes.
Mr. Sidnor, my apologies, President Nicholas,
Yes.
Mayor Mo.
Yeah, just a couple comments. I'm gonna concur, but I'm not sure what the speeding issue has to do with this ordinance that we're talking about. The Chapter 7, I want to thank Director Lee as well as Michelle Blair for taking the time to update this information. The designee is just that. It will, before anybody gives out any citations or writes any reports, there is a process that they go through. That's whether they're in code enforcement or whether they're in Public Works or in the police department. So that'll be taken care of. We don't look to be doing that, but it's an option that allows that flexibility. The information with the 11 and 1200 block, as Councilman DeWald has stated, what I learned was we don't do tubes across the street anymore. It's done in a different manner. I think that information was being collected. As you're well aware, it'll be analyzed, and then the information will be forwarded on. So I just want to make sure the general public, with some of the comments that were made, we have a staff that works very hard, and that information will be forwarded as soon as we analyze it and forward to all the council. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Our next agenda item is second public hearing with possible action on ordinance number 1984, an ordinance of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland, to amend Chapter 18, Building and Building Regulations, Article 9, Property Maintenance Code, Section 18-148, Rental Properties of Laurel City Code, adding sections and providing an effective date. I've read the title into the record for the second reading. Mr. Allen, do you have anything to add?
Madam President, I don't have anything to add from our previous discussions. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Rao, has anyone signed up to speak?
Madam President, there's nobody signed up to speak on this ordinance.
Thank you. I'm going to open up the public hearing at 6:24 p.m. and I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:24 p.m. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam President,
Go ahead, Councilman Last.
I move for the adoption of ordinance number 1984, an ordinance of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland, to amend Chapter 16, Building and Building Regulations, Article 9, Property Maintenance Code, Section 18-148, rental properties of the Laurel City Code, adding sections and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
A second, Madam President, ordinance number 1984.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Les,
Yes.
Mr. Sidnor,
Yes.
Mr. DeWalt,
Madam President, just a small comment on this ordinance.
Yes, sir.
I think the ordinance is written absolutely fabulous. Steve, you did a tremendous job here. I just want to give everybody a little background. Ruth Walls, who brought my attention to this, with a family, Marie and David. Marie has a lot of intellectual disabilities, and David is affected even more, where he can't come out of the house. And when they were living where they were living without air conditioning, where the landlord refused to fix it, and a lot of other things, I talked to her just the other day, and Marie said the temperature there would get over 100 degrees. She said one time it was 113 degrees. They don't live there anymore, but I'm just telling you some of the things they were going through. Her son, David, who very rarely leaves the house, they were calling the ambulance service almost 2 or 3 times a week because he has asthma. So he wasn't able to breathe because it was so hot and humid in that apartment. And now they live in a really nice apartment. David has not gone to the hospital one single time. So now we're not taxing our emergency service system. We're not taxing our hospital. We're not wasting a lot of time because this ordinance will take effect and it will resolve a lot of issues to where a landlord's not going to cooperate. And apparently this landlord is a lot more receptive to her. She only makes $750 a month and trying to take care of her son. And I just wanted everybody to know a little of the background and what saying yes to this ordinance is going to create. And you know, one of our main jobs is the quality of life and enhancing the quality of life for our citizens. And this truly will enhance the quality of life for everybody in the city of Laurel. And I vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DePaul.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
President Nicholas,
Yes.
Mayor Mel.
Yeah, I'm going to concur. I do want to acknowledge and thank Director Allen and his staff for all their work, as well as Councilman Sidnor and Councilman Les for their input on this as well. I actually had the opportunity to talk to Ms. Walls and let her know about it, what we were attempting to do, and how we were trying to work it and make a difference in people's lives. It goes into effect in 2022, and there will be those, it'll be mainly older parts of Laurel that we will have to work with when we talk about some of these upgrades. So thank you all very much, and I'll concur.
Thank you. Our next agenda item is second public hearing with possible action on ordinance number 1985, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of Laurel, Maryland, to authorize the mayor and the city's ARPA committee to administer the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds established by the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 as detailed in the City of Laurel's ARPA budget and providing an effective date. I've read the title into the record for the second reading. I hope I don't butcher your name. Hallie Sifizari.
Yes,
You
thank
have
you.
the floor.
Thank you very much. I do not have anything to add, Madam President.
Okay. Mrs. Rao, is there anyone signed up to speak?
There's nobody signed up to speak on this ordinance.
I'm going to open the public hearing at 6:29 p.m. and I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:29 p.m. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Clerk, I make a motion to approve ordinance number 1985.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Sidnor,
Madam Clerk, before I cast my vote, can I make a statement?
Yes.
Madam President, you appointed me to be on this committee. I represent the council, and I gave you guys weekly reports when I met with the mayor and the senior staff, and I think we did a great job outlining how to spend the money for the city on this American Rescue Plan. I think the public would be happy with this as well, and I think the council will be happy with this as well once people come before the council. So I vote yes.
Mr. Les,
yes,
Mr. DeWalt,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
President Nicholas.
I vote yes, and I'd just like to piggyback off of Councilman Signor. I'd like to thank you for all of your hard work and all of your emails and constant updates that you provided us. So thank you for that, and I vote yes.
Mayor Mo,
I'm going to concur, and likewise, I want to acknowledge the staff that's been working on this. Early mornings on Mondays as well as throughout the day in some cases. And I want to thank the council for all their input as well through Councilman Sidnor. So we have opportunity to use these funds in the right way. This is the first time that these funds have been sent directly to municipalities, and we all need, as municipalities, make sure we do it right so this funding can come directly to us in the future. So with that said, we do have opportunity to help change some lives and make it better for people with funds as well. And I'll concur. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Our next agenda item is second public hearing with possible action on ordinance number 1986, an ordinance to amend the general operating budget and capital improvement program of the mayor and city council of Laurel, Maryland for fiscal year July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022. To appropriate a portion of the funds received through the American Rescue Plan Act and to provide an effective date. I've read the title into the record for the second reading. Ms. Saylor, do you have anything to add?
Nothing new to add, Madam President, but just again, a reminder, this is a companion ordinance to Ordinance 1985, where we're actually appropriating the money into the budget, $12.6 million additional into the federal grants revenue category and $12.6 million into a brand new expenditure department level budget account for the expenditure side, increasing the operating budget to $49,349,195. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Rao, is there anyone signed up to speak?
Madam President, there's nobody signed up to speak on this ordinance.
Thank you. I'm going to open up the public hearing at 6:32 p.m. and I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:32 p.m. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam President, I make a motion to approve ordinance number 1986.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Sidnor,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. DeWalt,
Yes.
Mr. Les,
yes,
President Nicholas,
Yes.
Mayor Mo.
I'll concur.
Our last agenda item for the evening is second public hearing with possible action on Charter Resolution number 1974, a charter resolution to amend the charter of the City of Laurel, Maryland by amending Article 300, Government Section 312, Meeting Oath of Office to allow for virtual meetings of the mayor and city council and other city boards, commissions, and committees. I've read the title into the record for the second reading. Mayor Mo, do you have anything to add?
No, Madam President, thank you.
Mrs. Rao, is there anyone signed up to speak?
Madam President, just for a correction, it is Charter Resolution number 174. And no, there's
Okay.
nobody signed up to speak on this charter resolution.
Thank you for that correction. I'm going to open the public hearing at 6:34 p.m. and I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:34 p.m. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam President, I make a motion to approve charter resolution number 174.
Can I get a second?
I'll
Second.
second. I think Brent just got in there, Madam President.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Sidnor,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. DeWalt,
Yes.
Mr. Les,
Yes.
Mr. Nicholas,
Yes.
Mayor Mo.
I'll concur.
Thank you. If there's no further business to come before the mayor and city council meeting, this meeting is adjourned.